First of all, we need to install redis in our Laravel application. This is where I'm gonna execute this command, composer require predis / predis, and we just need to wait for the command. So now the PHP redis is installed. We need to go to our config database configuration, which is inside of the config folder, and if we search for redis, we can find a default configuration for redis. As you can see, this configuration is using environment variables, so we can go to our environment variables and set this variable redis client, and because we are going to use predis, we need to type it here, predis, because if we don't do that, as default will be used, PHP redis will be used. And as you can see, we have two more configurations, default and cache, and both of them are using the same variables, redis URL, redis host, redis username, etc. So I'm going to register those variables. For example, my redis URL is another IP, so I'm going to type my IP, which is this one, and I don't have user and neither password. I type this 2 times in this folder, and as you can see, here is the redis host. I type redis URL, but it is redis host. It was my mistake, so I'm going to clean this, and I'm going to put my variables over here, and this URL I'm going to remove this and replace it here. My redis client will be my first variable, and my redis port, we need to set the port as a default is this one, so if we don't want to put it, we can remove it. And redis password, no, that's okay. So now that we have our redis configuration, we can go to our controller, our route PHP, web PHP routes, and I have a simple route which is in the root. So I'm going to serve my application. I'm going to open it. I have a simple dump, and we can use the redis client using, for example, the redis facade, 2 points, then get, and we need to set the key that we want to use, for example, users, and I'm going to store it in the users variable. After that, I'm going to do a dd. So if we go again to our route, we can see that we receive a null because we have not stored something right now. But if I type a setter before the getter in the same key, the key users, for example, an array that will have first user, or for example Ronaldo, If we reload the our app, we can see that the key is retrieved successfully. We can even use the cache facade. I still change it. Instead of redis, I change it to cache facade. Just doing cache, and as you can see, is a facade. Please don't confuse with another classes. Is this one cache, and then we need to use cache. And for example, I want to type here movies, and first movie is and second movie. If we access to movies, if we reload, we have null because it's movies, not movie. So we can get the same result. But it was not stored using redis. Why I know that? This is because if we go to cache config file, config, we can see that we are using the file driver. So that means that our keys and values are being stored inside of storage path, then inside of framework, cache, and data. So we are going to go over there to see our data. This is storage, cache, data, and we can see the result. As you can see, all of them. If we go to our .env file, we can see that the driver we are using is file. So that means that we are using this configuration, but we are using redis. So we can use redis or we can change this to redis, and let's go to see what happened here. And as you can see, it doesn't happen anything, but we are using redis. So if we remove this data, delete permanently, and delete permanently, and delete permanently, let me use this again. If we go to data, as you can see, there is no data stored here because now we are using the cache driver redis. I'm going to put it near from here. So it is being used the redis cache to test that this is working fine. I'm going to reload this again. I'm going to go over here inside of storage again, storage, framework, cache, data, and we don't have anything. But if we use file driver again, if we reload the page, we can see inside of the framework that there is a file. So it is working very fine. I'm going to use redis again, and that's it.